We're back with the Dr. Friday Show, and we're in the kitchen. And tell me, what is sweeter than a tax deduction? And today, we're going to create something very, very sweet. And while we're doing it, we're going to talk about some of those missed tax deductions. Did you realize last year over $7 billion, yes sir, with a B, billion dollars worth of tax deductions were not taken? I'm going to help you put some of that money back in your pocket. At the same time, we're going to make the most delicious chocolate walnut cookies that you've ever had. So let's start by starting with the butter. You know, there's really nothing better in a recipe than real butter. What is butter then? Well, in my mind, butter is charitable contributions, but there's so much more to that. We have cash contributions, and we have like clothing or objects that you give, art. All that is really, really important, right? So first thing when you're doing your deductions, you want to blend all those things together. We're going to do the same thing in here. We're going to blend together all of our charitable contributions. When you're sitting down and working on your taxes, you want to make sure that you've mixed all of them up. And don't forget, please don't forget the mileage. That's right. Every time you leave the house, you are creating mileage when it comes to charitable. Let's say you've got a big bag for the Goodwill store. Guess what? When you leave the house, that mileage is a tax deduction. Very, very important. Okay, maybe you're delivering food, sandwiches. Maybe you're delivering cookies to the homeless or something like that. All of that is mileage. Also, the food it took to prepare that dish is a tax deduction. Okay, so once you've gotten all of your charitable contributions very well blended, and your best thing is to use very soft butter. Sometimes, you know, those tax deductions are a little harder to find than you think, kind of like the butter. A little harder than you might think to blend in without a blender going into the mix. Okay, so we're going to take this. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to throw your egg in there. Your egg, in my opinion, let's talk about medical deductions, because really, I hate to tell you guys, but medical deductions are hard. So when you're doing it, what we like to do in the tax business is we like to do what we call skip a year, or we basically do 2 years at a time. We work it out where every other year you pay all of your tax, or all of your expenses when it comes to medical. And again, don't forget the mileage. Guys, it's kind of like all those little things when you're mixing up your recipe, and there's always a little of this and a little of that, right? Kind of like forgetting the egg in a recipe. You don't want to forget the egg. Well, you don't want to forget the miles. Okay, we're doing really well here. All right, so it's starting to look like an actual sweet little mixture. And you know what's sweeter? I mean, really, when you're actually, I do love to lick the bowl. When you're really dealing with taxes, it's so sweet to put more money in your pocket. That's why I love this recipe. Okay, in your other bowl. So this is a different form. Let's talk about last year and several years, people had big losses on property, casualty loss, right? Well, did you know when you're in a car accident and you lose your car and the insurance company doesn't cover it? Or something happens to the house, you have all that happening, same thing. Okay, when we're doing all this, when you're adding all these things together, remember it's every little thing, just that little teaspoon of vanilla makes a huge difference. Maybe it only saves you $10 or $5. It's all about the combination. It's putting all of this together that's going to save you tax dollars. It's not just one of the things I'm telling you. I want you to analyze everything I'm telling you. Did you have any kind of losses that you were not reimbursed for? Did you have anything to charity? Do you have the mileage? All of that is what's going to make a heck of a great recipe for putting more tax dollars in your pocket. Number one mixed, according to the government, on your taxes is mortgage interest. That's right. Can you believe it? People don't remember to write off their own mortgage interest. Well, let me tell you guys, that's really losing money in your pocket, because without that, you're most likely not itemizing. Well, without itemizing, you don't get charitable contributions. You can't fold in all of the flour and baking soda and salt, all the things that it takes to make a heck of a great recipe for something sweet. And again, guys, I can't say enough. What is sweeter than putting more money in your pocket? Well, I like putting money in my pocket, and I like sweet things. So putting those two things together, as far as I'm concerned, is the perfect world. Okay, so back to our tax deductions. And we've now folded everything, as you watch. I'm such a great cooker, right? We put everything in one big bowl, just like your tax return. Everything's going to end up on what form, guys? It's going to end up on the 1040, right? All right, so we're going to have to speed through here. We got all this all mixed up, and so we're going to be able to make this all one big thing. So what you do basically, just like when you have all your receipts mixed out there, right? You're going to do something next. You're going to put your hand in the bowl, right? And you're going to start rolling this stuff together. You're going to say, Friday, you forgot the nuts and the chocolate. No, 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 I didn't forget it yet. I know my cameraman, he's sitting there going, okay, she's forgot a very important part of this whole thing. I haven't, because the way I like to make them is when you're doing taxes, you want to fold in all the extras, right? So you want to put the chocolate right in. You want to take the nuts and put them right in. You want to put them down, roll them together, get them nice and solid there, and you want to put them right on the cooker. It's that simple, guys. Every little thing you do when it comes to taxes is putting more money. One thing isn't going to do it. You're going to have your unemployed or your unreimbursed employee expenses. You're going to have your charitable contributions, property taxes, your auto registration. Hello, guys. Almost every single one of you watching has a vehicle. If you're itemizing, did you know a portion of that is tax and it's a deduction? You're going to have your property taxes. You're going to have your medical expenses. All of these break down to putting more money in your pocket. Break down to having more of it on your plate. Now what happens is you're going to fill all these up, right? You're going to take all this and you're going to keep doing. You're going to keep folding. And remember, every little thing, you're going to put some nuts. And you're going to put some nuts in there and you're going to fold them up, and that's the best way. You don't want to just mix it into the dough. That's boring for one. Two, you want to get as much as you can into it. You're going to put them on the tray and you're going to keep going. And guess what? When it's all done, you have this really moist and beautiful cookie. You know what you have? You also have an awesome tax return. All right, we're going to be right back with the Dr. Friday Show and tell you how to put more money in your pocket and also show you how to hit your kids' dreams and make them fabulous and make those kids awesome kids. We'll be right back.